Every now and then you come upon a story and your only reaction is, why? Why? In today's modern world, the modern lifestyle, a lot of people, I would say most people, at some time or other, to one degree or another, play video games. And it's not just a male thing, not that it ever was, but it used to be predominantly a kind of a guy thing. That culture has changed and shifted. I'm not saying that it isn't still probably a majority guy pursuit, but there's a very sizable percentage of females who play video games as well, and good for them. You know, live your best life, do whatever you want. But a recent development on the whole video game side in recent years has been the development of virtual reality headsets. You know, where you put a thing over your face, and essentially you're in the world, you're in the game. They're really good. I don't have one myself, but I have tried them, and they are surprisingly nifty. I do remember back in the late 80s, early 90s, they came out with a machine. It used to be in some of the arcades, or for a very short period of time. I do remember them, and it was an attempt at virtual reality. But the thing was just so slow. It wasn't virtual reality. They didn't have the computing power, so you'd move your head or whatever, and the thing would take a while to kind of. It wasn't direct. It wasn't immediate. Whereas the sets they have now are literally, they'll react as quick as you react. They're just spot on. It's really amazing technology and an amazing experience. And anyway, let's see why I'm talking about video games and why I'm talking about particularly virtual reality. Because we have a story today from our friends over at the Mail Online. And my reaction to this, as I said, was, why? Just why? Why? Let's read on. This is from Jonathan Chadwick from Mail Online. The VR headset designed to kill you.
What? What the fuck?
You heard that right. You heard that absolutely right. The VR headset designed to kill you. Oculus creator develops a terrifying device that, quote, instantly destroys your brain if you die in a virtual game. Now, if you're like me and you play video games here, you die a lot. I mean, you don't die, but in the game, there's a lot of death. But thankfully, you just switch it off and you go on about your day. You won't if you wear one of these, it seems. Now, Oculus is a brand of headset. You know, anybody who's familiar with the whole VR world will know it's one of the main brands of headset. So the guy who developed the whole Oculus thing, he sold out to Facebook a few years ago because they wanted to get into the whole virtual world thing, the metaverse and all that. Anyway, that's just a by the by. Yes, it kills you. He developed. Why? Who developed something like that? Why would you even think of something like that? I mean, I'm all for, you know, being immersed in a game and really living it, trying to become part of it. Yes, the immersion is the key to a lot of these games, but I don't think I'd want to play for quite those stakes. No, death if you die in the game. I don't think so. No, I'll skip it. Right, so Nerve Gear device was created by 30-year-old Oculus founder Palmer Luckey. That's the lad who invented the Oculus. Bright chap. He's got a few bob too, because he sold it for a fortune. The VR headset, says Jonathan Chadwick, the VR headset has 3 explosive charge modules that point at the user's skull. These go off when the user dies during gameplay, killing the user in real life too. I don't think I'll bother. don't think I'll bother with that, Palmer Luckey. Thanks, but no thanks. We'll read on. The founder of Meta's Oculus, that's Meta, Facebook, Oculus platform, might have trouble finding volunteers to try his latest creation. Do you think? Do you think? A VR headset he claims can kill you. Can. If there's some explosives pointing at your noggin, that's probably, it's not going to help you. Nerve gear created by 30, we got that, instantly destroys the brain of the user when they die in a virtual game. No, I'm not seeing the market appeal of this. It looks like a normal headset apart from the 3 terrifying explosive charge modules that are pointed at the user's skull. Here we are. There you go. Can you see that? You see that baby there? Look at that bad boy. There's a 3 yolks there. That's the explosive charges. When the user dies virtually during gameplay, the modules fire at their head, killing them instantly at the same time. Luckey admitted the device is not quite finished, and it's likely he'll have trouble getting clearance to use it even when it is. Yeah, I don't think most legal authorities like that kind of thing. They're not big fans of death in general. Luckey, who he sold his firm Oculus to Meta, that's the Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg's Facebook, for $3 billion. $3 billion, not million, billion. In 2014, at the age of 21, he was only a lad. Described the incredible device in a blog post. Incredible. The idea of this is, I assume, from Palmer Luckey. The idea of tying your real life to your virtual avatar has always fascinated me. Strange people out there. You instantly raise the stakes to the maximum level and force people to fundamentally rethink how they interact with the virtual world and the players inside it. Yep, that'd certainly give you pause for thought. A few explosives pointed at your brain. Pumped up graphics might make a game look more real, but only the threat of serious consequences, i.e. death, can make a game feel real and to you and every other person in the game. This is an area of video game mechanics that has never been explored. I wonder why, despite the long history of real-world sports revolving around similar stakes. The device was inspired by Sword Art Online. Don't know who they are. Oh, they're an anime series. It's a series, an anime series featuring a VR game of the same name, accessible with a helmet called Nerve Gear, which stimulates the user's 5 senses via their brain. Well, that is a thing that the whole VR people, they're constantly striving to make them more realistic, to make them more immersive. They're trying to think of ways to simulate, when you run in a game, how can you run? They're even building kind of platforms and stuff so you'd actually run. Wouldn't be great for people who might not be great at run. I know about, I'm not the greatest, not as fast as I used to be. So I'm not sure how they're gonna. But what I'm saying is they're always striving for new ways to immerse you in the game, for new ways to make you feel like you're there, like when you're in a dream. When you're in a dream and you believe you're there, doing whatever you're doing. So they're always looking to heighten the senses, to make the sounds even more realistic, to make the visuals even more realistic. So they're trying to get to the point where you won't know the difference. In the series, players can experience and control their in-game characters with their minds while wearing nerve gear. All right, but when 10,000 players log into the game online for the first time, this is the series. Gotcha. This is this anime series, yeah. So I don't know it myself. Not an avid fan of that. When 10 players, this is the plot, I assume, log on to the game for the first time, they discover they can't log out. They're trapped in the game, and that removing the helmet would be fatal. The things would explode or whatever. Gamers were trapped by a mad scientist. Not Palmer Luckey. Oh, maybe it is. Inside a death game that could only be escaped through completion, says Palmer Luckey. That's him, is that? That's the lad there. There he is. 3 billion. Yeah, 3 billion. Yeah, wouldn't mind. Palmer Luckey there, he's pictured in November 2018. He's only 21. 3 billion. Genie Mac. What would you do? Yeah. If their hit points, we'll go on. This is more Palmer Luckey here. If their hit points drop to 0, their brain would be bombarded by extraordinarily powerful microwaves, supposedly killing the user. The same would happen if anyone in the real world tampered with their nerve gear, the virtual reality head-mounted display. So you couldn't even kind of, a friend or a concerned person couldn't even, get you out, pull you out of the game. That'd kill you too. So you're trapped. What can you do? You're just in. You're in and you're fully in. In the game, Nerve Gear contained a microwave emitter that could be overdriven to lethal levels, but Luckey has used an alternative, explosives. Well, that'll do it all right. Probably a cheaper version. Just banging a few explosive charges there, saving a few bob. Probably keep the costs down. These are tied to a sensor that can detect light, including when the screen flashes red at a specific frequency to indicate virtual death. So they know the headset knows when somebody's after goosing you in the game, and so that's it. It then basically explodes, blows your head off. When an appropriate game over screen is displayed, the charges fire, instantly destroying the brain of the user. Luckey says. Yeah, I wonder will he be trying it with 3 billion? I don't think he will. Somehow can't see it. When an appropriate. Okay, we got that. Luckey says. You'd want to be Luckey, all right. Luckey, who has an estimated net worth of 1.4 billion. Where'd the rest go? Maybe went to Vegas. Spent it all on hookers and booze, maybe. Claims the device is still in development. So it won't be out for Christmas. As he has so far only figured out the half that kills you. So he's just got that bit. He's working. He's got the explosive bit right. That's the easy bit. Now he's trying to work out the rest. So he started at death, and he's kind of working backwards. Okay, you've got to start somewhere, I suppose. The perfect VR half of the equation is still many years out, he says. Well, thank God for that. I think we can all have a collective sigh of relief that these won't be available on Argus, in the Argus catalogue. Alright, okay. Oh, that must be the series there, yeah. It was inspired by that anime. That chap there. Chap or girl, whatever. A bit androgynous. Okay, don't know the series. Don't think I'll bother with it either. It's inspiring all this kind of craziness. Luckey also called Nerve Gear a piece of office art and a thought-provoking reminder of unexplored avenues in game design. Yeah, it's certainly unexplored, all right, for a pretty good reason. Quote, it is also, as far as I know, the first non-fiction example of a VR device that can actually kill the user, he adds. It won't be the last. So he thinks he might be onto something. He's just getting in early. Well, he's a bit of a... look, he can't argue with the man's track record. He invented the Oculus, or he came up with the Oculus, sold it to Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook Meta for 3 billion. So the lad's not slow. He's no slouch. I don't think he's on the right track here, though. I mean, yes, he's a lad who has a track record of coming up with good ideas and being ahead of the game, but I think maybe the 3 billion went to his head. I think he might have gone slightly off the rails here. Luckey, a video game enthusiast and now owner of defence contractor Anduril Industries, began Oculus when he was just 15, working on prototypes in his parents' garage. So, he done well. The lad done well. So he's now gone into the defence. Lord knows what he's cooking up there. Well, Lord only knows what he's cooking up there in the defence industry. He started developing head-mounted VR displays when he was still in school and was in college when he created the first prototype of a consumer-priced VR headset called the Oculus Rift. I remember when that came out. It was supposed to be pretty good bit of kit. Although he eventually left work to work on the project full time. Luckey left Meta, then known as Facebook, in 2017. 3 years after Oculus was taken over by Zuckerberg's company. They probably had him roped in for a few years, and then he could do what he liked after that. He could take his money and go invent debt machines. The young entrepreneur later told CNBC he got fired. All right, it turfed him out. Maybe because he was coming up with ideas like this from Facebook for no reason at all. No reason at all. No, can't think why they fired me. They have a great idea for a death headset. No, can't imagine why they might have got rid of him. Although he said the fact he gave 10 grand to a pro-Trump group might have had something to do with it. All right, well, yeah, make sure you get Trump in there somewhere. always good to get a bit of Trump in there somewhere. That always frightens. That was frightens the natives. Okay, so there you go. Now, as I said at the start, you read these things and you think, nah, no, don't be at that. Why would somebody come up with a headset that if you lose the game, it kills you? Like what? I don't know. I mean, it's hard to know what 3 billion would do to a lad. Or maybe it isn't. I never had that problem myself. But there you go. A headset that in game, real life consequences in the game. Somebody shoots you in the head, well, it shoots you in the head too. So it's a game over for everybody in every way. So before you go thinking now, parents out there, I don't care how naughty little Johnny or Jenny was this year, or how bad the grades were, or how many exams they failed. Whatever you do, resist the temptation. Do not think about putting one of these under the tree at Christmas.